Hi, I'm Mike Beliveau, and today we're back out at Duelist Den, and our subject today is going to be Taylor & Company's cartridge conversion cylinders for the 1860 Army revolver. So let's take a look at them. So you might ask, what's the point of a cartridge conversion cylinder for the 1860 Army? And, the answer really is a two-parter. One, there are historical conversions, so they look quite different from this. But you might be interested in that, and this could be a way of recreating it. I think the more common answer is that even though you could get a single-action Army revolver that fires the same cartridges, these cap and ball revolvers are very cool looking. They're sleek, they're long, they're like greyhounds, and a lot of people really like the look and feel of them. But you may not like the idea of shooting black powder. Maybe you don't feel comfortable with it. Maybe you're not comfortable with the cleanup. Right, but if you could shoot regular smokeless powder cartridges in an 1860, you'd have the best of both worlds. And that's what Taylor's has done by giving us these conversion cylinders. So basically, people always ask me, what's a 44 caliber cap and ball? Can I safely shoot 45 caliber cartridges in it? And the answer is yes, because the bore is 4.52 inches, just like a 45 Colt. Why they were called 44s back in the 19th century, I don't know, because they were obviously 45s. But be that as it may, it means that we're able to shoot modern cartridges with them. And I'll be talking a bit more about that in just a second. I just want to make this point. Taylor's only warranties these cylinders if you use the proper factory 45 Colt ammunition. Now, in point of fact, a lot of you are going to want to reload. And I'll be quite honest with you, I like shooting these things with black powder loaded 45 caliber cartridges like this one. And that voids the warranty on the cylinder. And that's just a fact of life. But you've got to realize that there's not a single gun manufacturer in the United States who will warranty their gun for use with hand-loaded ammunition, because they don't know what you're putting in this stuff. I mean, I could have loaded this with a stick of dynamite. Taylor's doesn't know, and they're not responsible for it. So if you're going to use hand loads, it's on your own responsibility. You won't be under warranty. But as long as you load standard velocity Colt ammo, I mean, you can load 7.8 grains of unique with a lead bullet and you'll still be safe. Or you can do what I do, load black powder, absolutely safe. But that's what you need to load it with. Okay, so let's take a look at the conversion cylinder itself. So this is the conversion cylinder for the 1860 Army. It's a two-piece cylinder. We got a back plate, and that has the firing pins mounted in it. And then we've got the body of the cylinder, and you can see it's a 5-shot. And that's because 45 Colt with the rims takes up more room than you've got in an 1860 Army percussion cylinder, right? These things weren't made for cartridges. And that's why when they were converted to cartridges in the 19th century, they were converted to 44 Colt, which is a smaller cartridge, but it uses a heel-based 45 caliber bullet, which means that the overall cartridge is about the size and diameter of a 44 special, right? But we're using 45 Colt because that's the bore size and that's what's available commercially. So we've got to use a 5-shot cylinder. And that means that they had to do some real good work to get the indexing on 5 shots to be the same. And by indexing, I mean when I turn the hammer, the chamber lines up with the bore, right? So this has 6 rounds, the percussion cylinder. This has 5, and yet they should still line up for you. Now, some guns, that's not going to be true. Some guns may over-rotate a little bit or under-rotate a little bit. And if that's a problem that you've got, you could send it into Taylor's Gunsmith, and they can tune it so it'll work with both of your cylinders. It's just a matter of getting the hand exactly the right size. Okay, so if you run into a problem, you might want to send your stuff to Taylor's. Pretty simple. Okay, so how does this work? Well, let me show you. All right, so let's take a look at how you load this up. All right, now the gun has to be partially disassembled. This is a lot easier on a Remington cartridge conversion R&D cylinder type than it is on a Colt, because Colts you have to take apart with a hammer. So I'm going to whack that wedge, pop it out. All right, and that allows me to put this on half cock and then just jack the barrel off. So then we're going to take out the percussion cylinder and put on the cartridge conversion cylinder. Now, this type of conversion cylinder with a back plate and a separate cylinder, that is really not historically correct for Colt cartridge conversions. It is for Remingtons, but Colts just weren't made that way. And I'm probably going to do a video pretty soon on historical cartridge conversions of Colts and of Remingtons. So I'll go through how they were really done in that video, but take it from me that this is not really historically correct, but they're a lot of fun, and that's why people shoot them. So I'm loading it with Black Hills smokeless factory ammo, and I'm going to load all 5. Okay, so you put the back plate back on. Easy to do if you're not doing it on video. There we go. All right, so there's a alignment pin, right, which you can see right there, and there's a hole in the back plate. You put those together, and that keeps everything where it's got to be. So now we're going to mount it on the gun. And once again, we use our little tool to put it together, and there we go. Now, I'm going to draw your attention to the bolt notches. So you can see there are extra bolt notches on this. That's a safety device, and that is a historical feature that Colt did on some of their own cartridge conversions. But that allows you to lock the cylinder up securely, much better than the between chamber pins. Securely lock it up so you can load 5 and still put the hammer down safely. All right, so let's take these and go see how they do against Evil Roy. Well, you know the drill. Evil Roy is up to his old tricks, terrorizing the good citizens of Blymire's Hollow. And it's going to be up to us in Taylor's cartridge conversion cylinder to see if we can put him in his place. So let's see how we do. Well, I don't think Roy will be causing any more trouble around here. Well, I thought I was so smart storing my water bottles behind that bale of straw. But as it turned out, I wasn't as smart as I thought, because the splatter coming off of Evil Roy actually punctured just about every bottle I've got. But before they all leak out, let's see if I can shoot them with the 1860 and the Taylor's cartridge conversion cylinder. So let's go give it a try. Let's see if they'll shoot. And that's why I shoot a 45 Colt instead of a 38. Because it's the only gun that can take out 3 bad guys with 1 shot. Well, we're over here at Swing City with Swingin' Sam and the Circle Gang. And I'm going to try to take them out with the 1860 Colt Army with the Taylor's conversion cylinder in it. Now, this gun is shooting very high, as Captain Ball revolvers do. But with these 45 Colts with 250 grain bullets, it's shooting higher than it does even with round balls or with conical bullets and paper cartridges. So, not sure I've got the dope on it. We'll see. I'm going to see if I can take out that Circle Gang, and if I can, I'm going to be very pleased with myself. So no promises, but let's see how we do. Well, I figured it out, but I figured it out a little late in the game. At closer distance than I was shooting before, and it's not hitting as high as I thought it was. If I had shot Swingin' Sam first, I'd have figured that out. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, you know the drill by now. Give it a big thumbs up. That helps us come up in your queue. And if you're not a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board. And if you want to see more content, you can go to MikeBeliveau.com, where there's plenty of Captain Ball action that you can look at. Lots of it in more detail than you can see in a video. So go check it out. And if you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. And the links for all that will be down below. So until next week, go to the bad guy's view. And we'll see you next week.